Guam. Black man, white woman, the year of Loving versus Virginia on a stolen island in the Pacific, a staging ground for American expansion and domination. Come some babies, one of them me. Anyway, you get it. The older I get, in all likelihood closer to my death than to my birth, despite all the arugula and quinoa, the more I think of this day as a delight. But that's not today what I want to land on, if only because one's birthday is also the day of hollering many delights, if you can muster them, which today I can. This morning I was walking through Manhattan, head down, checking directions, when I looked up to see a fruit truck selling lychee, 2 pounds for $5, and I had $10 in my pocket. Then while buying my bus ticket for later that evening, I witnessed the Transbridge teller's face soften after she had endured a couple unusually rude interactions in front of me as I kept eye contact and thanked her. She called me honey first, delight, baby second, delight, and almost smiled before I turned away. On my way to the Flatiron Building, there was an aisle of Coosa dogwood, looking parched, but still, the prickly knobs of fruit nestled beneath the leaves. A cup of coffee from a well-shaped cup. A fly, its wings hauling all the light in the room, landing on the porcelain handle as if to say, "Notice the precise flare of this handle," as though designed for the romance between the thumb and index finger that holding a cup can be. Or the peanut butter salty enough. Or the light blue bike the man pushed through the lobby. Or the top knot of the barista. Or the sweet glance of the man in his stylish short pants, well-lotioned ankles gleaming beneath, walking 2 little dogs. Or the woman stepping in and out of her shoe, her foot curling up and stretching out and curling up. August 1st. 2. Inefficiency. I don't know if it's the time I've spent in the garden, spent an interesting word, which is somehow an exercise in supreme attentiveness, staring into the oregano blooms wending through the lowest branches of the gumi bush and the big vascular leaves of the rhubarb, and also an exercise in supreme inattention, or distraction, I should say, or fleeting intense attentions, I should say, or intense fleeting attentions. Did I mention the hummingbird hovering there with its green gold breast shimmering, slipping its needle nose in the zinnia, and zoom? Mention the pokeweed berries dangling like jewelry from a flapper mid-step? Mention the little black jewels of deer scat and the deer-shaped depressions in the grass and red clover? Uh-oh. I come from people for whom, as I write this, lounging, sipping coffee, listening to the oatmeal talking in the pot, inefficiency was not mostly an option, I suppose, given being kind of broke and hustling to stay afloat with 2 kids and a car always breaking and their own paper routes on top of their jobs and such does not so much afford the delight of inefficiency. Though being broke and hustling to stay afloat most certainly occasions other, mostly undelightful inefficiencies, such as my father driving from Philadelphia to Youngstown, Ohio, every year to re-register his car in a state where they didn't have inspections because his 1978 Toyota Corolla, in my mind one of the most beautiful cars ever made, the wagon I mean, had 2 doors that didn't open and a hole in the floor and was more or less a latticework of rust. For instance, I love not getting the groceries in from the car in one trip. Or better yet, I love walking around a city, ostensibly trying to get somewhere, perhaps without all the time in the world, perhaps with, and despite the omniscient machine in my pocket frying my sperm, vibrating to remind me of said frying, just wandering. Maybe it's down this street. Maybe it's down this one. Maybe you're with a friend, and maybe the inefficiency will make you closer. Maybe it's a cafe you're looking for, on Cambridge Street, which evidently doesn't exist, until, drifting along, it does. And right down this block, across the street from a school where a trio of kids, a black girl with braids, a brown girl in a hijab, and a white girl with pigtails, shoot hoops. In one of my recurring dreams, I'm hurrying somewhere, trying to be efficient, to an airport or work, and just up the road, always up a hill and often around a bend, feels like parts of Pittsburgh or San Francisco or, sometimes very clearly, Philadelphia, is a restaurant with the best veggie burger and French fries. The fries are thick, very crispy, naturally have the skins on, and are creamy inside. The veggie burger holds together, is handmade, probably with about 6 ingredients in it, including the spices.